Good morning, Beijing. Beijing, oh, I keep calling the city Beijing and people keep freaking out because they think I'm in China. Good morning, Bangkok. We are going to grab our flight home. It's time to find check-in at the lounge and our flight leaves in 2 hours. Getting through security and going through immigration took less time than checking in. They have snow globes with a person riding an elephant, but this one, the person got beheaded. We are in the lounge at Bangkok International Airport. Justin's getting coffee. They have ice cream. Here is breakfast. We wanted to film this Q&A for you guys, like on a beach or somewhere, but
it's run out of time.
Yeah, Justin.
Yes.
First question.
How did you meet?
We were both members of a website called DP Challenge. It's a photography website. It's a competition-based thing. You just every week have a challenge to take a photo of a theme. I was going to Iceland and I went on the forum on the website and was like, is anybody in Iceland?
I thought I posted the
Did you?
That I was going to be there.
Wait, you did? So, Justin's going to take over this story because I don't remember.
There's a lot of members in DP Challenge that are from Iceland and they were amazing photographers, so I posted that I was going to be there and may have a short amount of time to like just say hello, which was unusual for me because I don't really do that. And Claire answered and we figured out a slot where we could just like say hi. And we met like at a bus stop somewhere.
I'm pretty sure it was at church in Reykjavik.
The church first.
Yeah.
I was in university studying abroad, so I had to go back to my group for dinner. So it was like a quick 30 minutes hello. We chatted a little bit.
And walked around Reykjavik, which was Justin calmly walking and me literally jogging, which was the first time we discovered our sort of different pacing. I left to meet another Icelandic photographer that we're both huge fans of, named Lars, and I walked in and he looks at me. He goes, where's Justin? He went to a Viking dinner. What do you want me to do? And he's like, I know where he is. Let's go get him. Like, I don't know that we can just go steal a college student from his college group, Lars. And he's like, I don't care, it's fine. And so we get in the car and pull up to a restaurant and lo and behold, the first table is Justin's group, and we stole him for the evening, and we went driving around Iceland.
Photographing the Northern Lights.
After that, we just started traveling together. How do you afford to travel?
So we're very lucky that we own our own business, and we do well with the business, and we can work really hard. We do overwork a lot, though. We're workaholics. Most of the year, we're working 7 days a week.
We've been traveling since even before the business was doing well, and I think
that's true.
The biggest thing is that we budget for it, we scrimp and save, and we don't really spend money on anything else. When we travel, that is all of our fun money.
My priority is to travel, so that's where my money goes.
It's not full-time travel, and I think that's the biggest thing that some people confuse. We spend literally a year working so that we can do that for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So it's a big commitment, but it works well for both of us. How long does it take to plan a trip?
It really depends on where we're going. The China trip, I wanted to go for a long time, so little by little, as I like saw articles or something that was really like a cool experience, then I would write it down. So usually for one trip, I may have 3 or 4 different itineraries before I choose one that I like.
And for China, you've been planning that for 10 years?
No, I think it was like 3.
3?
3 or 4.
Oh, only 3?
Yeah.
Oh.
The Thailand trip, I was overwhelmed with work last year, so honestly that one came together about 2 months before the trip, which was unusual for me. But
yeah, but it went off great. What is the hardest part of the trip to plan?
Things to do.
Every city that we go to, we have 1 to 2 days. You know, it's like what to do with a week in the city that we're going to have 1 day in. And so we have to decide from this massive list of amazing things to do in a city what we want to prioritize. And so that can be a challenge.
I think boarding's going to be at 7:50.
Oh my
according
God,
to our tickets.
We're boarding the flight in 3 minutes. How do you find a nice local guide every time?
So
you don't.
It's not guaranteed, but the best place to look for one is TripAdvisor. I know like everyone uses that, but sometimes the smaller tours are a little further down on the list and they still have great reviews. If someone felt the need to review someone and give them 5 stars, then that probably means that they had a great experience.
Yeah.
So that's really the best way to do it. Have you guys ever felt legit unsafe?
We thought about this a long time, and I think the answer is no.
Yeah.
Right?
No. In the bigger cities, sometimes maybe a little more cautious, like walking down a dark alley or something like that, but which, you know, sometimes it happens with the GPS. Sometimes there's little scams or pickpocketers, so you just have to read ahead of time about the country and just sort of be aware of what could happen. How do you decide what camera gear to bring along while traveling? I always found it heavy and uncomfortable keeping a camera and drones through treks in the mountains. Is there a suggestion you would share?
Work out. It's uncomfortable carrying all the stuff that we carry. Do you have a problem with it?
I mean, I would prefer to hike without it, but photography is such a big part of what we do that we just have to do it.
Justin's really good at carrying equipment. I'm just slower than Justin, and so before we go on a trip, I spend at least 1 to 2 months training to travel with you.
And if you're not like a professional photographer, you're not selling the photos, then you can just get a smaller camera.
I have a lot of video equipment with me, and the way that I pick out the video equipment is all about size and convenience, and just getting something that's small. Time got away from us a little bit. We have to board our flight to Japan, so we're gonna try and continue the Q&A as we go along. Gear is something that you guys ask me about all the time, and since I am doing photos and video, my gear has changed a lot over the past couple of years. So I actually filmed a little thing about what I brought with me on this trip. So I'm gonna insert that right here. I have my Apple laptop. This is a MacBook Pro from 2012, but it was decked out in 2012, so it still functions really well. I also have one of these hardy, drop-proof, weather-resistant hard drives. I also have a second hard drive that I use to back up this backup drive. Then the Sony RX100 has been a beast for B-roll. It has been doing so much work for me. The 200mm zoom on this camera is absolutely amazing. It does eat through batteries, so I have 3 spare batteries and a battery power pack that can be solar powered. So I can charge the Sony and the GoPro together via USB, or I can charge my Rode Wireless Go mics. I also have the Zoom H1N recorder for recording high quality ambient sounds and some backup batteries for that. Then we have a Canon 5D Mark IV with the 24mm 1.4L and the 50mm 1.2L. I don't have a 135mm 2.0L, which I usually have in my kit, because Justin carries the same lens and I borrow his when I need it. Ooh, can we take this speedy cart? We walk so fast on these. It's like being a ninja. I'm pretty sure we're the last people to board this flight. Oops. Lunch options on this flight are a pork stir-fry type thing, or you can get chicken. This ice cream, it's 9:30 in the morning and I've already had 2 full meals. We're gonna answer a couple more questions. How do you handle conflicts? What's the biggest compromise you've had to make for each other?
We don't really have conflicts.
Yeah.
Like, I probably do some things that are annoying, you do a couple things that are annoying, but like nothing enough
I definitely do annoying things.
But nothing enough to like make us have a conflict.
I think the most annoying thing you do is make me eat good food. So like, I mean, like, dang Justin, you're so annoying. I think the biggest thing with conflicts is that we both have similar goals when we travel.
Yep.
We both want the same thing, and we both have similar taste in activities. If we had different travel style, there would be constant conflict. And I think the other thing is that we both respect each other's needs enough that if I really need something, I can ask for it and Justin will do it. And if Justin really needs something, I'll do it.
Yep.
So it's just about communication and respecting each other.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's that easy, guys.
You've shown us a few times how Justin powers uphill. Any examples where you have him beat at something? You can sleep anywhere. I have a harder time sleeping on planes and just random public places.
So
but
you make it sound like I fall asleep in random public places all the time.
No, but you can. Like
I can. So yeah, I'm better at sleeping. I'm also better at eating sugar.
And videos.
I am better at video. He just like waves the camera around. It's like, can you just hold still, hold still?
I'm wearing my jacket. It's cool.
Oh yeah, you have this like weird arm. How do you travel with a friend or a group of friends, and what's your usual budget?
We usually travel with each other.
Yep.
This recent trip to Thailand, a couple of my friends wanted to tag along. They like to sleep in and they like different activities. So really you just have to talk about it ahead of time. It's really communication again. Make sure you know that it's okay to do different things. If they don't feel like hiking, they don't have to come hiking. But it's just really not forcing others to do things they don't want and just talking about it.
I think that's what's really important about finding somebody that you travel with well and that you're compatible with. And if you're traveling in a group, be willing to be independent within your group. If your group is doing something you don't want to do, either suck it up and have a good attitude, or don't don't do it. Go off and do your own thing and rejoin your group later. Another super important thing, you have to keep track of who pays for what, because paying separately at every single meal, every single ticket, it's just not possible. So we use Splitwise, which is an app that lets you write down every expense, and it saves it for you in a online cloud. The usual budget is $100 a day is our goal. I thought it used to be that $100 a day was our goal total.
I think yours was.
Yeah, that's true.
When she traveled alone, she spent a lot less money than traveling with me.
That's true.
Because I like to eat.
Yeah.
And
He likes fancy food.
She could just eat a sandwich from the grocery store, but now that we've traveled together, you've started liking that more.
Yeah, I enjoy the food now.
I think when we were younger, we used to also stay in hostels, share dorms with 10 plus people.
Yeah, because you save a lot of money doing it that way. Your advice on traveling alone to places you visited in China. We didn't travel alone, but we felt very, very, very safe in China.
Lately, we've traveled a lot together, but we've all traveled alone too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes our schedules don't match and we still want to travel.
Hostels allow you the opportunity to join up with other travelers and not be alone your entire trip, and it can be a great way to make friends and also a way to just sort of have more people around so you do feel safer.
What's your level of hotel cleanliness paranoia? For example, people boil their underwear in hot kettles. What? Inside them? I hope no one's doing that. Please do not put your underwear in hot kettles. That's gross. I hope you're putting it in, I don't know, where...
Sink? The bathtub? Okay, hotel cleanliness for me has never been an issue until this trip. Up until this trip, I throw myself into a hotel room and I'm fine. We love the kettles because we get tea in the morning, and it's the tea and coffee. We need our
kettles
tea and coffee.
Are for tea.
Kettles are for tea and laundry. I have gone through 4 stages of germaphobia this trip. Stage 1 was wipe down absolutely everything I touch with a Lysol wipe and be really, really meticulous. And I felt good and in control. The second stage of germophobia, I saw germs and virus everywhere. You put your bag down underneath the seat on the plane, which is required. You can't wipe down the carpeted floor on a plane. Okay, so now you pick up your bag, you put it on your back, and now your back is contaminated. Then when you take off your shirt later, your hands are contaminated. I started getting a sore throat in Shanghai. It occurred to me, oh no, I could be the contagion now. And so then I had my previous germophobia added on to the fact that I was now having to wipe everything after I used it as well as before I used it, because I wanted to protect other people from me. And that's when things just became so incredibly exhausting because I could not keep up with the amount of cleaning that needed to be done. So the 4th stage for me was just sort of accepting that there are germs and there's stuff everywhere, and just going back to that control of, hey, I can wipe down all my gear every day, I can use hand sanitizer, and then let it go. This next question is, how hard is it to use a drone that's small and not very noisy for a trip to Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Japan? Every single country is going to have different drone laws, and how small and quiet your drone is usually doesn't matter. In Thailand, we went on a whole adventure to get the paperwork that I needed to fly the drone. I started the process over a month before the trip. It was not easy, and it costs money. As soon as you book your flight, research the laws.
What is your favorite place you've traveled to so far? Each country is different and you like it for different reasons, so picking one over the other is really hard. I would definitely go back to China.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would want to go back to Myanmar.
We are definitely going back to Myanmar. We didn't have enough time there.
But countries like Iceland and anywhere in Europe is great too. I don't know, it's really hard to choose.
I'm a little bit more emotional about this because I have one experience, one memory that stands out to me in my entire life as the most peaceful and content I've ever been. And it occurred in Scotland in a little cafe off of Loch Ness. I was having hot chocolate and a sandwich, and it was raining, and I had just ridden my bike in the cold for a very long time. This little old lady invited me into a little side parlor where there was a wood-burning fire and a big fluffy chair right in front of it, and the whole room was empty except for that one chair. And I sat in front of the fire, and it was the most cozy experience of my entire life. So if you were to ask my favorite, I think of Scotland. Iceland stands out for me as being a place that I just love. Unsatisfying answer,
Sorry,
probably. Next question is, Why travel?
I got addicted to it. The feeling of getting out of your hometown and experiencing new people and new places, it just feels good. You experience other cultures, other people get to meet you.
Well, it grows your confidence and your ability to handle challenges too, because when you face something that's really tough, the more you do it, the less rattled you get when something goes wrong. Justin got locked off the train. Something goes wrong and you're just like, we'll fix it.
My first trip, I was so nervous.
Yeah?
I actually called home and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Oh no!
But it was jet lag.
Wait,
like,
where
I
were
researched
you?
it in Spain.
Oh, in Spain?
Yeah.
Oh.
I researched my symptoms. Why am I feeling this?
Why am I feeling this way? I didn't know this story.
And
This is
I
great.
called my parents and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I slept well that night and then the next morning
You felt better?
I felt great.
There's the aspect of reminding yourself that your way is not the only way. There's so many different moral codes and religions and traditions that are really fascinating, and I think that that's such a colorful part of what it is to be a human, and experiencing that has become really important to me. So
That's why we travel.
where did you have the greatest culture shock? Would you say Myanmar? Or would you say
Maybe Myanmar.
China?
But the thing is, I grew up in Ecuador. If I'm used to the markets, I have a little bit of that in my childhood.
There's an adjustment period, especially for me, because I usually am less prepared than Justin. And so I'm like, oh my God, how do I say hi to people? And how do I interact? And oh, am I doing something that's offending people? But it's not jarring, it's exciting. The last and final question. The question that we get on every single video. Are you a couple? No. Japan. We will be on a plane to Dallas very, very soon. My goodness, this is quite the machine. I'm kind of nervous to press any of these buttons. Stop. Okay, there's even a place to keep your kid while you pee. We are going for a walk because we're about to be sitting for how many hours? We need to talk serious business right now. This is the longest Justin's beard has ever been. And we wanted to shave his beard and do a mustache, a goatee. If you oppose the beard removal, let us know. Spacious plane. Look at this leg room. Dallas. Justin. When you were in the middle seat, did you smell anything?
I took my shoes off, so I don't know if that's what you're saying.
That is not what I was smelling, because it was wafting from my right for 12 hours. Every 10 minutes, there would just be this wave of smell. I feel disgusting. I feel disgusting. It's amazing how disgusting I feel. And I pity people who had to smell my feet in security. Last flight of the trip. For the first time in 3 years, our bags didn't